And breaking news coming in at this moment, the Modi abuse storm escalates as RJD leader Tejashwi Yadav's recent remarks in a Vote Adhikari Yatra is being witnessed as a reply to the BJP's claim that Modi was abused in a rally which was organized by RJD and Congress in Bihar's Darbhanga. Now, RJD leader Tejashwi Yadav says that this is a BJP propaganda. BJP is spreading fake news as the Congress and RJD's Vote Adhikar Yatra is appealing to masses. Listen into this interaction that is coming in.
मोदी जी, ये आवाज ये गूंज सिंगार की धरती से, ये हर एक जात के लोग, हर एक धर्म के लोग, हर एक वर्ग के लोग यही कह रहा है कि किसी माई के लाल में दम नहीं जो हमारे संविधान और लोकतंत्र को खत्म कर दे। अब देख रहे हैं कि राहुल जी और हम लोग सब लोग यात्रा पर निकले, इनकी चोरी राहुल जी ने पकड़ ली, तो अब जो है झूठा एजेंडा प्रोपेगेंडा चलाने का ये लोग काम कर रहे हैं.
And my colleague from Bihar is joining me. Raman Rai, thank you so much for speaking to us. Tell us more about this political escalation in the Modi abuse row.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a very fresh attack on Narendra Modi by the opposition leader in Bihar, Tejashwi Yadav. He said that the fake propaganda was diverted, spreading by the BJP in the country on the issue of the derogatory remark were used by the Congress worker in Darbhanga. And now addressing a rally in Siwan, Tejashwi Yadav said that it was a totally fake narrative which was spreading by the BJP across the country of that video where the Congress worker has seen that abusing Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this, we all know that Bihar is a poll-bound state, and this yatra is on the last leg of his Bihar tour. And after 2 days, this yatra will be the end. So Tejashwi Yadav launched a fresh attack on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and BJP.
Raman, for giving us those details. And more breaking news coming in. Union Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said India would not compromise its self-respect in trade negotiations with the United States. His comments come at a time when India has been hit by 50% US tariffs and trade deal negotiations between the countries have hit a stalemate. The minister also called on industry players to make the initiative fully independent and self-sufficient while assuring government support to manage trade-related stress. Shifting our focus now to Prime Minister's next stop after Japan. It is China. PM Modi will be in China to attend the SCO summit on the invitation of Xi Jinping. PM Modi will be in China after 7 years and will meet Chinese President Xi Jinping on August 31 in China on the sidelines of the upcoming Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in Tianjin. The two-day summit will have 20 world leaders, including Putin, in advance. Now, on the sidelines of the summit, the Prime Minister is expected to hold bilateral meetings with several leaders attending the summit. Both India and China continue to ease tensions following the deadly border clashes in 2020. And my colleagues Gauri Dwivedi and Aditya Rajkol have been in China reporting on how this visit will look like. Take a look at this report.
Why don't you walk us through this particular picture that you have in front of your hands? Yeah.
Sure. These.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, yes.
These are the pictures of Mr. Modi. We did a lot of discussion on China-India economy, and he was very keen on growing rapidly in Gujarat and in all over India of the way China was progressing.
Okay.
And I think Indian investments have come well. FDI in India, but then it is not again to the potential.
A lot more that can happen.
Yes,
yeah.
lot more.
You're also somebody who's been sort of the person knowing the palate of the Prime Minister, isn't it? When he was the Chief Minister, then he used to visit your restaurants, and even now you're very closely involved with all that Prime Minister will be taking.
Yes, we had the honor of serving the Prime Minister in 2006 at our restaurant, and we are again very excited to do the same during this visit. In fact, in previous visits also we had the opportunity of serving the Prime Minister.
He's known to enjoy his Gujarati cuisine. Is that something that, any specific demands that come your way, or is that you already know what the Prime Minister likes?
Not necessarily. There are times when we present a menu and then he would like to choose something from that. It would be vegetarian for sure, and some Gujarati as well as a lot of Indian choices also.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi, for the first time in the last 7 years, would be visiting China. In fact, after the Galwan attack in 2020, there hadn't been any major dialogue that had been taking place apart from the recent one in Kazan. But this is a very significant visit that's taking place, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the next few hours would be leaving Tokyo in Japan and coming here in Tianjin, China for the SCO summit, but also for the very crucial and critical bilateral that will be taking place between President Xi Jinping of China and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. There would also be the big bilateral between the Russian President Putin and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The big talking points, of course, have been decided during the talks between India's NSA Ajit Doval and the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi, in which it was decided that there will be some crucial steps that will be taken by Beijing and New Delhi. This included people-to-people contact, the sharing of the important hydro data, and apart from that, a direct flight that is likely to take place between China and India in the next few weeks. Could there be very crucial announcement that would be made? It's quite likely. But will this also resonate in some kind of the kind of spirit that we saw during Chennai Connect or the Wuhan spirit? That's quite unlikely, because after the Galwan incident, where several of the members of the Indian Army and soldiers were killed brutally, there was a lot of deepening divide between the PLA and the Indian Army, but also in the diplomacy and trade between India and, of course, China. But certainly during the SCO and through this entire bilateral, at a time when Trump is raising tariffs against India and penalties against India, India and China are bridging the gaps. Certainly, it's a beginning of a step in positive direction between these two neighboring countries.
And all eyes will be on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's China visit. Our team of reporters are already on the ground covering each and every aspect of this meeting and how Modi and Xi Jinping meeting will look like. Any crucial statements, any update that will come only first on NDTV. So don't go anywhere, keep watching NDTV. We will be right after this short break.
The biggest Modi visit in 7 years. The biggest India-China icebreaker. The biggest angle of the tiger and dragon. NDTV reports from Ground Zero, China.
NDTV is the first Indian media crew that has reached here in Tianjin in China to cover the SCO summit.
The news breaks, the body language, the mind games of a new beginning.
We at NDTV will keep getting you every aspect, every update, every development first from Tianjin.
In an exclusive interview with NDTV, former Finance Secretary of India, Subhash Chandra Garg, breaks down the US-India flashpoint over Russian oil. Listen in.
Mr. Garg, that CLSA research report says there that the benefit to India really, as far as cheap Russian oil goes, is far less than what has been portrayed previously, $2.5 billion as opposed to estimates of 10 to 25 billion. That kind of debunks Trump's claims. But on the other hand, I'd like to know if this still makes sense for India to be buying Russian oil because it's not as cheap as before. Do you think that if we stop, it would be caving into Trump and we'd be bullied further?
I think this computations of what actually the gains are is a very difficult thing to do. The easiest way probably the people will do is that on a day, what is the global or Dubai price for us, and on that day, what is the Russian price to us? And that discount is something which is taken as a kind of gain. Again, there is a question, I think that is what CLSA report also brings out, that this headline discount over the price and the landed cost to India, taking into account the shipping, insurance, and other kind of costs. So, in case we are actually able to compute the landed cost vis-a-vis Dubai to Russian oil, that is what should be taken as the real gain. That unfortunately is not easily available. So then that is where the estimates or the guesstimates take over. And someone will tell you that it's 10 billion, 25 billion. They don't do it in the annual context, while the CLSA report tells you about the annual context. And also that this is going down over the years and it's reducing. But all in all, so if Trump wants to use it as a kind of sword to sort of punish India for not agreeing for his tariffs, then he can use it. You can put any number. It doesn't make any difference.
Right. But Mr. Garg, which version are you buying if, so to speak, Russian oil is not as cheap as before?
At this moment, to my mind, it seems to be only about $3 to $4 per barrel as the effective discount, and any reduction in the price of crude which buy is worth it, and therefore India, which is buying Russian oil within the parameters set by the international sort of community, so to say, that you can buy Russian oil within the price cap, which has been set by the global community. I think that's not violative of any sort of international agreement or understanding. So that is what India should continue to buy. The objection is wrong. The objection should be removed rather than India be asked to do something which is not violative of any international understanding.
The biggest Modi visit in 7 years. The biggest India-China icebreaker. The biggest angle of the tiger and dragon. NDTV reports from Ground Zero, China.
NDTV is the first Indian media crew that has reached here in Tianjin in China to cover the SCO summit.
The news breaks, the body language, the mind games of a new beginning.
We at NDTV will keep getting you every aspect, every update, every development first from Tianjin.